To a CBC investigation now into how Alberta Justice prosecuted an RCMP officer with a history of violent assaults against prisoners. What we uncovered raised allegations of a double standard and troubling questions about the conduct of a Crown prosecutor. Our investigative reporter Charles Rusnell has the story.
You're about to witness a crime by a police officer. Eric Ouellette is the victim. Now, watching the video 2 years later, he admits he was being mouthy.
Turned towards Kropelnicki, must have said something wrong, and he pretty much loses it on me. Then I'm put in a chokehold and get 2 elbows to the head.
RCMP Constable Sean Kropelnicki clearly had had enough.
Either he was having a bad day or I really hit a sour note, criticizing his line of work.
The assault was way over the line, says this expert in justice ethics.
The police are professionals. They're supposed to have more self-restraint and be more in control of their emotions than ordinary citizens.
Less than 3 months later, Kropelnicki attacks another prisoner.
We consider ourselves to be a highly professional, well-trained organization, and this is conduct that we don't expect and we don't accept.
The file went to this man, Crown Prosecutor Kevin Fody. He charged Kropelnicki with 2 counts of assault. Ouellette, a rig worker, knows more about fixing a truck than the ins and outs of the legal system. But when he heard about the charges, he figured the system was working as it should.
Kind of glad, he might actually get his just deserves.
Fody moved Kropelnicki's case from Bonnyville here to Fort Saskatchewan. Kropelnicki pleaded guilty to assaulting Ouellette. In return, the second assault charge was dropped. Now it was time to watch the video and pass sentence. But then, a troubling twist. Fody tells the judge, "We have a video. Unfortunately, the video is not working." So the judge had to rely on Fody's description. Mr. Ouellette sitting on a chair. Mr. Kropelnicki uses both hands and pushes him off the chair onto the ground. He then goes down and grabs Mr. Ouellette and pushes him up against the wall. The judge asks, "That constitutes the assault?" Fody replies, "That constitutes the assault."
Well, there is absolutely no mention of being placed in a chokehold. There's no mention of receiving 2 elbow strikes to the head.
Fody's description troubled Schaefer.
His description appears to minimize it in a way that borders on deception or even lying.
The judge agrees to a 1-year suspended sentence.
Mr. Fody, I'm Charles Rusnell with CBC Television.
I got it right in, I'm sorry.
I'd really like to
Fody didn't respond to our interview requests, so we found him at his office.
So we'd like to talk to you about that if we might.
Yeah, I can't right now, but I'll get back to you. I got your voicemail.
Charles Rusnell joins us now. What happened to the police officer, Charles?
Well, Adrian, despite 2 charges of assaulting prisoners, the RCMP put Constable Sean Kropelnicki back on the street in Bonnyville until we started investigating. He's now been assigned to desk duty pending an internal disciplinary hearing.
And what does Alberta Justice have to say about this?
Well, Alberta Justice has repeatedly refused to explain what happened. They say they don't want to create a situation where the decisions of prosecutors are routinely questioned, but they did confirm that as of Friday, Kevin Fody is no longer a prosecutor. They say he resigned for personal reasons. Adrian?
All right. Thanks for that, Charles.